Let's talk about a couple things that may either not get a lot of attention or just slip your mind when you're talking about your truck insurance. Everybody gets really focused on the auto liability, on the physical damage, on the excess, on the cargo. There are a lot of other things that can cost you money when operating your business, and we feel like it's our job, especially as advisors, to tell you everything that you're exposed to, how can you cover it, what's it cost to cover it, and then you make the decision if that cost is what you feel like is fair to transfer that risk to the insurance company, or if you're going to continue to self-insure that risk, because ultimately anything you do not buy insurance coverage for, you're self-insuring, and there's a lot of stuff out there that can happen to you in addition to just having your truck run into somebody or have a rollover or whatever happens with the trucks on the road, which is a multitude of things also. So a couple things I'm going to run by you here real quick. Let's talk about some of the coverages that are on my mind, and we talk with all of our clients about: cyber liability, employment practices liability, fiduciary liability, crime. So those four things are really some of the bigger, more noteworthy items. Directors and officers can come into play depending on how your company and your corporate structure is, how your ownership works, that kind of stuff. But the one I really want to talk about today is cyber liability. Of course, you read about this frequently in a lot of different publications. You see, breaches and so forth at major corporations. What does that mean to you, whether you're a small or a medium or even a large size trucking operation? Even a big trucking operation, may be small in comparison to the breaches you hear about at Target Corp or at Sony, something like that. So what does this mean to you? 54% of all cyber claims are either funds transfer fraud or business email compromise. And that is where a lot of these fraudsters are going right now. They're really trying to trick people. A lot of the technology for logging into your bank account and logging into a lot of your other accounts has advanced, and it has made it more difficult, especially with third-party authentication, to get into some of these accounts, and they can't just guess your password anymore because you often get a text or you get an email verification to log into your account. So what they're doing now is they're trying to trick the user at your company, whether that's you or it's your accounts payable folks or it's your accounts receivable folks or just the folks that move money around to make payments on trucks or payroll, et cetera. So they're trying to trick and use the human error side of everyday life to get what they want, which is your money. The amount of time criminals have spent watching email correspondence in just the last year has increased over 75%. So that means they're getting in and they're watching emails for a longer period of time, and they're really understanding how your company works and who handles the money and who authorizes payments, and then they're striking. And so when they do, a pretty noteworthy thing in here is the average in 2022 for a funds transfer fraud claim was $309,000. So depending on what your financials look like and how your cash flow works, if you don't have the right coverage or enough coverage, then trying to chew on a $309,000 bite out of your cash account might be more than you can overcome. So a lot of policies, a lot of these built-in policies and package policies have some cyber built in. Often it's sublimited very low. So the funds transfer, for instance, might be on there, but it might only go up to $25,000. Well, if your loss is $300,000 and the insurance company pays $25,000, the rest of that is coming from you. So it's really good to know, what your exposure is, what coverage level are you comfortable buying insurance up to, because whether it's cyber, employment practices, directors and officers, fiduciary, just crime like employee theft, those can also make a pretty significant financial hardship on your business if you have not transferred that risk properly. So just some things to consider as you're working through your truck insurance. These are things also that can have a big financial impact on you and don't get quite as much maybe attention as the auto liability, especially because that's one of your bigger ticket items. But these types of coverages can also make a big difference to your bottom line if something were to happen. So just something to consider as you approach your next truck insurance renewal, and if you don't have these coverages, consider those and at least understand what the cost of these coverages are and how they function. So at Roark and Sutton, we always take this holistic approach. We want to let you know, like I said at the beginning, everything that you're exposed to and how to cover it. So We want to be your advisor, and we want to work with you to get the coverage the way that you want it so there's no surprises later. We'd be more than happy to talk you through some of these coverages and how they might apply. Feel free to give us a call. Thank you very much.